Before I start running the wires, I want to talk about something real fast. This whole process has involved me working through it, talking to other people, and getting their ideas. And this is that wire sticking back in the back. And what happened today was I was on the way back to the boat. One of my friends here, Steve, he was sitting in his truck, got talking about it. And what he suggested was getting alligator clips and just connecting it. Because I tried other things that worked, and that's exactly what I did. I got these two alligator clips right here. And connected them to the end of my wires and connected it one to a positive, one to a negative. And what I bring about with that is why it's important to have other people in your life and to just have other people in your life, period. Because you get an outside perspective that you wouldn't have thought of in solving problems. And like I said, one of the things about Regen Life is living, loving, learning, and growing. And on the backside of it, learning and growing is just putting what you've learned into action. All right, that's it. And for me, recently I just had some period where I looked back and asked, is there anything happened in the past that could affect how I am today? And there is. And not blaming that, but knowing I've got that information now I can build on. Because I have been living a life of basically trying to do things alone all the time. I've even had people in my life tell me I gotta do it by myself. Well, that's not the case. That's not true. You gotta have outside input. You gotta have encouragement. And that's one thing about Regen Life is to find your crowd. To find those people who are going to go along with you in your journey. And like I said, that's part of my journey is opening my life up to others. And one of my first ways of doing that is opening it up to others I've met and worked with previously in my life through an online forum called Patreon and through my YouTube websites and through Facebook. But I'm going to use all those accesses, all those things, just to build a community around myself for me to grow going forward. And we'll talk about the areas I need to grow. But right now what I'm doing is run the wire. It works out that I'm going to end up moving from the front part back to here, because that's going to be the most tricky part right there, and I can do it. But so I'm going to start the wires at the front, and let's see if we can get some bow lights tonight. So let's see what we have. I won't bore you with the details, but I'm going to jump at it and see what I get. Talk to you in a bit. Hello everyone, I am about to call it a night. Work on MikeRigo.com. If you've not been there yet, go give it a look. It's under progress, but Mike Rigo, RIEGO.com. So I'll look back to see where I was, but where I left you, I was going to try to run wires from the back panel, control panel, right here, back in there, to the front of my boat. And I was able to do that. I'll show you how I did it tomorrow, but I just worked through each little spot, and I left myself a string. So if in the future I need to do that, I can just use the existing string. And where I've left it is my wires at the front of my boat, in front of my V-berth. The V-berth is the point of the boat where the bed is. And trying to decide, because my current bow nav light wire runs through my bow rail. It's the rail that's on my bow. The issue is I cannot get it off. Can't get it out. I've tried pulling it both ways and it just won't budge. So what I was going to do is look to see how I can get it through the front part of my boat. I can put it through where my anchor rope and my anchor chain comes out, but I really don't want to do that because that will get wear. So, but what I'm thinking about doing now is drilling a hole somewhere midways in my bow rail, because my bow rail has been this damaged, and seeing if there I can pull it out from in the middle. Who knows? It's a thought. I'm going to sleep on it tonight and see where I am, but made some great progress. I mean, I tested to see if the old bow light would work, and it wouldn't. So we got the new bow light, so should have bow lights on tomorrow. I heard something the other day which makes a ton of sense. We're not in the same boat, we're all in the same storm, and I completely agree with that. I mean, life is whatever it is, and we're all in it. We need to encourage each other. We need to be there for each other. We need to have our community to invest our lives in. A week or so ago, I had a revelation, because I've had some things going on in my life that I didn't like. And I was asking myself, is there anything that happened in the past that could have influenced it? And something popped up, which I'll be sharing with you guys later. Like for me, the two parts that I've been missing, I mean, I've learned a lot, learned a lot. But until you put what you've learned into action, that's when you grow. Action is the catalyst. With what you learn, you put it into action and you grow. I like Kobe Bryant and what he has to say about life, because he was one who looked at the games and everything about just ways to get better. You look at basketball players, baseball players, they make a lot of mistakes. They strike out a lot, they miss a lot of shots, but they keep at it. And his thing was, he would look at his games they lost and figure out how could he get better. He'd look at the games that he won and see how he get better. And then he put in more time working. And that's what I'm beginning to do. Put more time into things that are going to produce results for me, i.e. making movies, videos about certain things about this. Going out and sharing, getting it out there again like I used to be. But don't get paralyzed when you make a mistake, because mistakes are life. Mistakes happen. If you try something new, you're not going to be good at it. All right, you got to do it over and over and over to be good at it. So I've been rambling a bit, but loving. All right, that's been an area that I've just shied away from for whatever reason. And I believe I know the reason now, and I'm going to work at that. And growing is a catalyst for action, is a catalyst for learning, growing. And I believe just being out there, being open and caring for people is a catalyst for love. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that too. I was looking at that. I've been talking about this for 4 years, probably longer, about at least 4 years. And it's going to happen right now. So, all right, it's time to go to bed. Going to get some water. It's been an amazing day. Accomplished a whole lot. Got a lot to do tomorrow. I got some small little projects. I want to get this bow light thing done first, because you can't go. You need the bow light if you're out there at between an hour before dusk and an hour in the morning. And I'm about to leave this dock and take you guys with me. And we need the bow light, so that should be solved tomorrow. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you have a great day. Hang in there. Hang in there. All right, you can do it. Talk to you later. Bye. I am back on the nav lights. No telling what day it's been. What I've decided to do is I'm about to go drill a hole in the bottom of my rail and see if I can pull the wires up from there. So let's see what we got. All right, that didn't work. I'll show you what I did. Well, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get these wires right here to pull out. They won't budge. It come out about 3 inches more, but that's it. And then what I did was I drilled a hole. Drilled a hole right here. And I believe I drilled through the wires because there's nothing to pull. I'm gonna dig one more time, but I'll get another pair of pliers and dig, see what I can get, but that's it. So I'll fill you in on what I'm gonna do next. Hey guys, it's Rigo. It's Mike, Captain Mike. It's about 11:45. Notice that red glare on my face? Yeah, it's good. Look what I got. My bow nav light. See, I can see red from this side and green from that side. I've been working on this for no telling how many days, and this evening I had all this tested, and then when I ran the wires out here, and I actually ran them over the rail. It's not the best job, but it works. It didn't work, and I was getting flustered. I'm frustrated, and so what I did was I took a break. That's what I've learned to do when I get flustered and frustrated after something like that. Let my mind clear and come up with a solve for it. And the solve I came up for it was to look for another ground, because it's just a loop. You got power from the fuse box, goes out, loops around, and comes back. And the fuse box, power box, I'm not sure what's it called, but so that's what I did. And how I did it was my alligator clip right here. So this was my ground, clipped it, and found another ground. And that's how I got it working. So for those of you who have to replace this going forward, be patient. Don't know if this is going to be a solve for long, because like I said, the wire goes through my anchor, where my secondary anchor comes through. And so anyway, that's it. So I ran it from the back to the forward, through my anchor locker, up through there, because I couldn't take it up to the rail. So that's it. I have light on. One other thing I've got to do is just put that on a stable ground, and I'll be done. I dropped a few bolts. That's par for the course. So if you're new into boating, especially sailboating, prepare, get extra, because it's going to happen. I just put my first video up on YouTube, and I joke around about hopefully it doesn't fall in the water, because I believe in that video I actually lost the other one into the water. So but that's it. Just stay at these projects. You got it. Like I said, I don't have that much, before I got the boat, not that much mechanical experience, but just learn to stick with it. Because like I said, this 84 boat system is pretty simple. Just gotta work with it and keep at it. So that's all. I'm gonna call it done. Nav light is done, and on to the next project. Talk to you later. Bye.